Hey guys, Brad Pryor here with Grit Brandon. I'm here with Jake Bloomer today. If anybody don't know who Jake Bloomer is, he is the son of Mr. Randy Bloomer and Kim Bloomer. And they make trailers, some cool trailers, and we're just discussing earlier that on my way in here, I passed 5 trailers that y'all made and going up and down the road, and I'm like, that's pretty crazy sitting here and do a podcast with you. And we're at Kerry Kelly's place, which I appreciate him letting us use it again. Yep. So can you tell us a little bit about how you're enrolled, or what your role is in Bloomer, and then also how Bloomer got started?
Yeah. Well, it started in 98. I was 3, so I didn't have a whole lot to do with it back then.
Right.
But I've just been a part of it my whole life. It's all I've ever really known. And my parents started it ground up. Just long story short, Dad worked for another manufacturer. Didn't really like where the industry was going, and he saw a missed market with the high-end trailers. So he decided to sell everything and take out a loan and hope and a prayer and start his own deal, him and my mom. And so I just grown up into it, and we've been very fortunate. I mean, it's taken off, but it's just hard work and a lot of luck.
I wouldn't say it's just taken off. I think it's well established.
Yeah, it's I think it's our 27th year, and it's awesome. I've been around it. I grew up in it. My dad, it's all I've ever wanted. So it's kind of one of those deals. If you want to be in it, you're going to earn it. And so from the time I was 15, I've been in that shop, welding trailers, servicing, kind of done all aspects. Went to college. When I got out of college, it was my first office job there. Hated it. I've always worked outside, always worked in that shop. And so whenever I came into the office aspect, at first I was doing in-house sales, and then he threw purchasing on me as well. He wanted me to learn kind of all the aspects and how it operates. And so I did the purchasing for, a year, did the in-house sales, be the coordinator, and then I've just learned every facet of that business due to some unfortunate stuff. My mom got sick, and she was our accountant, so Dad was with her doing what he's supposed to do, and so I learned accounting and just worked my way up. And this year, my dad announced he was retiring. So,
oh, he is?
Yeah, I've been vice president for a couple years, just kind of overseeing day-to-day stuff, just keeping the BS out of his office.
Oh, yeah.
And so I guess it's about to be my baby, and that's where we're at.
Congratulations. That's awesome. So what do you think when your dad went out and took a loan and got rid of everything he had, what do you think he brought to the table that other manufacturers didn't, or still does to this day? What separates y'all from the pack?
I think it's a lot of things. Mainly, I don't think anybody could outwork him whenever he was 33 years old. He had 2 babies. He was broke and hungry and didn't come from nothing, didn't have support from his family. Neither did my mom. It was just those 2. They got married at 18 and about to celebrate 44 years. So
oh, that's cool.
I think being the hungry part was the main deal. But he's been around horses kind of his whole life too, and it was kind of a combination of things. Selling an off-brand trailer, he saw that the horses were kind of evolving. Hill horses were getting smaller, head horses getting bigger. Just the evolution of horses really in the whole Western industry. And so he went to this company and told them some ideas he had. One of them, kind of what we still do today, is lowering the manger pan so a horse can drop its head and breathe a little better. And it fell on.
Slow that down a little bit. So the world that doesn't know what okay. So to explain to what you just said.
Yeah. So the horse compartment, obviously, that's kind of where we started our deal. Is my dad wanted the safest, quietest, smoothest airflow horse compartment there was. And in the horse compartment, there's dividers which divide the horses, and then there's mangers, which is feed pans basically. You can put hay, grain, whatever in it, so a horse can go down the road and eat. And
not eating out of a bucket, more or less.
Yeah.
Back in the old days, that's what everybody did. But yeah.
Exactly. So, but a horse needs to drop its head and relax too. And I guess it was 98. I don't remember them, but I guess they were pretty high. And some of these, my dad had a hill horse that he'd showed at the World Show, and a smaller horse, and that manger, that horse just sitting up like this. Well, he left a show and he went to a U.S. Open down in Louisiana. And about halfway, he stopped. It was the middle of the night, and his whole manger pan was just solid blood. And I was thinking, damn, what happened? You know, he just won the Palomino World Show on this horse. Offloads it, and he figured out that horse had gotten so tired from the miles and being roped on all day, it just dropped its head in that manger pan and just ate up its gums, its lips, everything. That next week, he drove to Oklahoma and presented some stuff, and they said, nah, it works like it is. And so, I'm sure this story's been told a lot, but basically went to a payphone, called my mom, and she asked how it went, and he said, terrible. And she said, what are we going to do? And he said, we're just going to build our own. And my mom doesn't cuss or anything. I don't know if we're supposed to cuss, but her exact words were, oh, shit.
Oh, we're allowed to say whatever on the thing. Well, I haven't heard the story, so I can relate to it a little bit about how my stuff started. But that feeling inside of you when somebody tells you no, that's not going to work, and you know in your head it will work. Mm-hmm. That's what kind of drove Raptor P to where it is today. Nobody want to do this, or nobody want to do it this way, or nobody want to do it efficient, or above and beyond what everybody else does. I see that in a Bloomer trailer when it's going down the road, and I actually stayed in one in South Dakota that was, I think, a 90, maybe 2000 model. I mean, but it's still inside. It looked just as good as new. They wear well.
Yeah, they do. They're built. Those old ones. When we first started, a lot of people say, "Oh, they're so heavy," and
they are heavy.
Well, if you want to know the truth, he had no idea what he's doing, so he right. The hell out of that
thing. I have some buildings that are probably like that too. Like we have 12-inch beam on the end walls and stuff, where it should have 8-inch. Yeah, just because I didn't want to underdo it.
Yeah,
and you can always say, "Hey, yeah, it's a little heavy, it costs a little gas, but it's going to run down the road, not to worry about it."
I didn't have the money right off the bat for high-tech engineers and the computer programs. When did you start Raptor P?
2020 or 2002. Oh, yeah. So it's 23 years.
Have the computer programs, CAD machines, and all that stuff.
I barely had a cell phone, bro. You said the payphone. Like back in the day, we had pagers and payphones. Mm-hmm. That was about as innovative as it got. And then we had Mapscope, where you have books of different cities and everything. That's how you flip through to find where you're going. Yeah. So, technology's changed so much, especially in business, because now you have social media, you have all kinds of platforms to be able to sell your product on. And back then, all we had a website, maybe, or your word of mouth. So
exactly. Yeah, no, that's kind of how Bloomer started too.
So you also do a lot in the Western industry as far as sponsoring individuals. How does that work for Bloomer?
Man, it's kind of one of those deals that, if you want to say you're the best and do it and believe it, well, you got to reinvest in the people that support us too. Our customers and cowboys, and we got a lot of pro cowboys from rodeo side to the cow horse. We're not as big in cutting anymore. Nothing against them. It's just we've gravitated towards the cow horse guys, and obviously the rodeo side. Team roping's the largest Western event there is. So we've really captivated that market, I think, being sponsored as a World Series and USTRC, BFI, Kojo, all those, the big events. But it's basically just, you got to market as a company, as you're at every event we're at.
Right, sure.
So, but it's also a deal of reinvesting. A big deal of ours is the youth. Texas High School, National High School, we sponsor both of them. The youth is our future generations, and so we try and help them out as much as possible. That's what's coming up next, and we want to embed in these kids' minds, hey, I want a Bloomer one.
Right, sure.
But their parents spend all that money with us. Well, why are we not going to give back to them about where we can? So, and
I'm proud of Bloomer, Prefer, Raptor P. Cinch, we all kind of, and Resist all kind of running the same circle, same shows, all that kind of stuff. But taking the time to get the youth put together and having the youth little pro teams and stuff, that goes a long ways. And then what's crazy is some of these junior athletes are crossing over. I have Prefer kids, I have Bloomer kids. We share kids, but we don't be territorial. We're helping.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it. I don't care Bloomer. I don't care if preferred sponsor. Like, I want them. I want everybody to sponsor kids.
Heck yeah.
You know, that helps grow our industry.
Yeah.
And support it.
No, I totally agree. And you'll never hear me, even in my industry of trailer manufacturing, if I see another manufacturer supporting somebody, good for them.
Right.
You know, I was on Facebook the other day and someone was bashing another brand, and it really had nothing to do with this trailer. It had to do with third party. And I got on there and I told him, I said, hey, this has nothing to do with this brand that you've tagged and you're bad mouthing. Really, you need to delete the post and go after that third party in private correctly, because you know how it is going to business, and Facebook's social media is the best, worst thing that ever happened.
I'm not allowed to be on it and say nothing, so
yeah, exactly.
For that reason.
But I mean, if you wake up every day and put your boots on and you go to work for you, I don't care what you sell. You know, you can sell against me all day, and I ain't gonna go around bad mouthing.
No, there's no reason to. An older gentleman told me one time, like, you're never going to work for your competition, so don't worry about what they're doing.
Exactly.
Do what you do best. And that's stuck with me for over the years, and I've told that many people, like, and it's true. 100%. Nobody is going to buy a trailer from you that's already a manufacturer or doing, like, so don't worry about what they're doing. Just do the best you at what you're at.
The best motivation for me is competition.
Oh, heck yeah.
I mean, my
whole group's that way. They're so competitive, it's almost annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, y'all just quit catfighting for a minute, okay? He got the sale, okay? Yeah. Leave him alone. Go get another sale. Quit worrying about it.
Yeah. I mean, hell, if I didn't have competition or, you know, see another brand doing something different, then we wouldn't be where we were today. Now, that's how it all started right there, is being better.
So you becoming the president now. So there's 3 or 4 different avenues I want to go down. You putting the big boy shoes on, the big boy shoes, because I know how heavy those are. When you interview a pro athlete in the future, what is Jake going to look for in that athlete for you to have your brand behind that athlete?
That's a good question, because I have to do it now, and like you, we get asked every week.
Everybody.
And I can be point blank, because, you know, a lot of it's the rodeo people, and I know most of them. And it's kind of hard being an owner's son my whole life, obviously. I grew up with the name, and Randy and Kim's son, Silver Spoon, all that crap.
Oh, yeah.
And so I've learned to deal with that, and it doesn't bother me anymore, because I know how hard I work and what I do. But these kids you grow up with, you know, that are probably around the same age as me, when they come to me, it's kind of hard to separate that friendship from business.
Right.
And so I've been point blank with people, and they didn't like it, but I'm honest. I'm going to tell you what I think. So it's really about the person more than the athlete.
Right.
If you're a good person and you take care of your business and your people and people like you, and you're not going to go out and get drunk with my name on your shirt or smoke a joint right outside the arena, then I'll give you the time of day. But if I know you're already like that, why would I want my brand representing that? We don't do that stuff. So it really goes back to the person mainly, and point blank is, we're not going to give you a free trailer. We don't give anyone a free trailer. I've told this 1,000 times. The only way Bloomer Trailers opens its doors and pays its employees and builds the best products is selling trailers.
Sure.
So if I'm going to invest in you, you need to invest in us. You know, you need to do the social media posts, tell the world why you think Bloomer's the best, and you need to believe it. You know, not just say it, but also you need to send customers to us.
Yeah.
That's really the only other than 10 days in Vegas, you sending us trailers is the only money we get out of it, you know, because we pay our guys. We give them a hefty discount off the trailer. We pay them bonuses. So if we're going to invest in you, you need to invest in us, and, you know, try and help our company any way you can.
Yeah. When we dove into the wrestling industry, the rodeo side especially, sponsoring pro athletes, you know, I was kind of sponsoring because I knew the name, they're really good. But after going through that for a couple of years, I'm like, I saw what you did back behind the chutes, whooping on that horse or whatever outrageous they were doing, different types of individuals, you know. So what I've kind of done, I've taken that part away. I know it gets presented to me. I leave up to Lauren and Jada. to kind of be my buffer, because I have had, especially with the youth team, a lot of these kids have been with me forever, and we need to cycle through some of them out and cycle some in, and that's really hard for me to do because I have that personal contact.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
no, we're the same way. I mean, I think 2 or 3 years ago, we cut 4 people, and they don't mind taking the handout, but they want to give nothing in return. And hell, I had one of them I called to say, hey, this ain't working out. We're going to go our separate ways. He never picked up the phone or called me back. So it's
that don't surprise me though. I'm like, I would have at least, well, what did I do wrong, or what can I do different?
Tell him. I just said, hey, can you give me a shout back? Because and I don't know, the Western industry, and if this offends anybody, well then you're probably that person. But I think most of the Western industry would agree with me. There's a lot of takers.
A
lot.
Yeah.
And they want, what can you give me, and then I'm not asking you to, sell 10 trailers. I'm not even asking you to sell a trailer, but if I go 9 months and never hear a word from you until, hey, season's over, I'm leaving for Vegas, I need to get my bearings packed, then I got a problem with it. Because at that point, you're not invested in our company.
Sure.
You're just seeing what handouts you can get when you can get them. And so we cut like 3-4 people off our team in the last couple of years, and we got a pretty small team right now.
Yeah.
A really small team.
Really small team, not bad.
No.
Because, you got quality athletes that fit your brand.
100%.
And the biggest thing I ask, even the kids that we've worked on, 2 different things is why would you pick Rafter P? If you're sponsored by Rafter P, why would somebody come out and buy our product? If you can't answer that question off the bat, I don't need to sponsor you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can't answer that. So that, to me, if they can't define your product or be supportive of it, there's no reason to even invest in them.
No. Or, you get hit up, someone blows you up for about a month on a sponsorship, and like, hey, I want to represent your brand, take care of it. I'm going to do this, this, and this. They get the numbers back. It wasn't a big enough discount. And then you see them 2 weeks later with another brand and another dealership. It's like, well, that's kind of, I had that in the back of my mind the whole time, and you've approved it.
Yeah.
So
it's weird how you get that instinct, though. Over time, you do build that, and and you're sitting there trying to help them out, and then they just, over a couple $100, flip the pages.
Yeah. And I like all these guys. There's a few that people don't like, and a lot of them probably don't like me because they don't know me.
Right.
There's quite a few team ropers out there that won't even shake my hand at the BFI, and I have no idea why, because I've never even introduced myself to them. But I like the guys. Hell, there's a lot of guys that I'm friends with that I rope with that don't even pull bloomers. It don't matter to me.
Right.
It really doesn't.
Right.
But if you want a handout, then we're not the company.
Right. How old are you, Jake?
29.
Okay. When I started my company, I was 22, or started Rafter P. The hardest thing that I had to learn and navigate was I was swimming in a big pool of fish, and I was the youngest cat on the block, but I had a lot of brain power. I had a lot of ambition, and that's intimidating to an older person.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of that, not just because you're Randy and Kim's son, but you taking the brand to the next level for all the stuff they put into it. That's intimidating to see somebody young and take on a company like that and have the capability to do it. Yeah. And that just eats older people up because they're living back in time. I wish I'd have done that. What I tell people is, if you'd have worked 7 days a week from 12 years old like I did, you might have had a chance. But that's the only reason I made it, is just working 7 days a week and not giving up. While the rest of you were out partying and having a good time in college and doing all the things, I didn't do none of that. Yeah. I just worked. Mm-hmm. And then that's what got me where I'm at.
It used to bug me bad, and not really even in the industry, but just being, fresh out of college at 21, and I wasn't a college guy. I'll be honest. If I had it to do over again, I met some people, learned some good experiences, mainly me screwing up, my dad getting on my ass. But the only reason I went to school is because my parents made me. I knew what I wanted to do, so I didn't really want to do that route, but I did. I guess I'm glad of it. I don't even know if I'd say I'm glad, but it was an experience.
Right.
But getting out at 21 years old and then going to a plant of 90 guys, and the average age is 40 maybe, and then the guy directly above me at that time was 42. Well, I'm a 21-year-old kid. I'm the boss's son. So immediately in their mind, it's nepotism right off the bat. Well, my dad tells a story. He thinks it's funny. I'll never forget. I built fence and cut hay in college for a guy, and I love being outside. I'm just an outdoors guy. And I come in my first week in the office, and I didn't know, dude. Whenever I was in high school, he just paid me a personal check because I wasn't 18. I wasn't even supposed to be working back there. And so I go to him, and I'm like, what is this? And he's like, this is your check. And I'm like, I can't live off this. What is this, dude? And then at the bottom, it had taxes and all that. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he was like, no, you're starting like a new employee that doesn't know crap, because you don't in this office. You know how to build a trailer. You know everything about a trailer, but you don't know business. And so, I mean, I didn't make any money, but just even going to shows and stuff, being a 21-year-old kid working the NFR booth, you walk up, can I ask you something? And someone looks you up and down and goes, oh, I'm good. And you really just want to grab and be like, I know more than you.
Right, you know, right. I know more than any competition. You go in there and talk to you. Yeah. I got this. Let's sit down and have a talk.
It used to bug me. And then now as I've gotten older, obviously you mature. And I'm sure I was a cocky little douchebag when I was younger in high school and stuff. And so a lot of the guys my age probably remember that side of Jake. Well, you live and you learn, you grow up. So it used to bug me. It doesn't now because I know what I've done for our company. I know that I'm there every freaking morning. I don't take vacations. I took my first vacation this year, and I've never taken a full week off just because my dad, we didn't grow up taking vacations.
Right.
If it was a vacation, it was a work trip.
You might
stop seeing Mount Rushmore on the way to, I don't know, a show somewhere. I don't know. We just didn't do it. And so this year, you know, vice president, I'm leading the company. I'm there every day. I'm like, hey, I'm going to take off a week and go on vacation with my wife. And what? A week? Who do you think you are? And I'm like, hey, dude, just because we didn't grow up, like a little quality of life somewhere, you know? So yeah, there's not much respect being young, ambitious, and even through the competition, you know, I don't see them a lot, but no one's going to outwork me, especially with Bloomer Trailers, because that's my parents' baby. That's my dad's. My dad's my best friend in the whole world, and I will never let him down. So if you want to come against me, you better be ready, because there ain't nothing going to stop me from being successful.
And that's very rare for your age. Like, I wish I had 30 of you, because it's hard to find. Yeah, I mean, I have kids too that have been in the company, and they started the same way. They cycled out because they need to learn some rough stuff. Yeah. You let the world beat them up a little bit, and then we can recruit. But what is one of the hardest actions at work you've had from your dad?
Oh man, we have a great relationship a lot, and I respect my dad more than anybody in this world, because behind the scenes you may see a big fancy company and cool trailers and trucks and, you know, cool hunting lifestyle, whatever, but you don't know what it takes. These people don't understand what he's been through, and my mom. So I respect him, but I think our biggest drag the last couple of years has been like younger generation seeing it a different way with social media, the way the world's going, and then the old school generation where, you know, with the way our world's been lately with all the outside noise that's the last 4 years, it's been unbelievable. You know, Randy's that guy that would maybe get on a podcast and say, you mother, need to grow up and get out of our country and all that. Right. You know, and I am too, but I know when I can say it and when I can't. So I think just the old generation of no social media and, you know, younger work crowds, that's our company's biggest struggle, probably yours too, is employees. Now, right now,
good employees, skilled employees.
Skilled.
Yeah.
The last 4 years, it's been junk. Our turnover rate has been unbelievable.
It's every industry, though. It's not just
everyone I talk to. Yeah. And so Dad's the type that, you know, he'd go out in that shop and just fire someone on the spot or, you know, say something you can't say anymore. You got to go through HR, and we don't really like that avenue, but it's that, hey, Dad, you can't do this. You can't say this. And then, you know, we've clashed over some trailer stuff. I don't know what the biggest ass tune is, but I know we've gotten into it a few times, and our secretaries will come shut the door.
Come shut the door like,
And
hey.
I walk out, and, you know, I'll be fuming mad, maybe, I don't know, but you could tell everyone's like, oh, damn, like, shit's gotten serious.
Yeah.
But
That's you probably of all the ass chewing you got probably accumulated to where you're at today.
Oh.
They made you better. I mean, especially loving your dad and being your best friend. I think that goes a long ways with
100%.
respect. You say a lot less than you probably would want to say if you didn't respect him so much.
Oh yeah, if it's just I don't know. If people work with family, they understand.
I've been done or done that.
Dude, it's hard because like I love my mom more than anything, but my mom, that's her baby. She's got her way of running things, and she's kind of that employee. Like she's over our account. She does a lot. She knows more about the paperwork and stuff than anybody, obviously, but she's that one that will venture off in any lane, and she's probably going to see this, and she's going to be like, really? So we can be in the hallway talking about production. Well, she's going to have to come listen and maybe put her 2 cents in. So since I've taken over, it's like, hey, you stay in accounting, and you don't mention anything to any of our shop employees. You don't go find them. You don't talk to our plant manager about production or why it sucks this week or why we had an invoice this. You don't do that. That's my job. Right. And so that's been my hardest deal is, you know, having so much respect for your parents and then your mom. My mom's the sweetest freaking woman on the earth, and I'd do anything, and I know she'd do anything for me and my sister. I mean, she's just an amazing mom. But it's hard going in there to your mom and having to get on her ass and say, you need to sit right here, and then her be like, you can't talk to me that right. Your mom. And I'm like, no, I'm speaking right now. I'll never forget the first time we ever got into it, and I told her, I'm your boss. Oh, man. It was up into Randy's office, and she went in there and told him everything, and he's like, Kim, we ain't a mom and pop anymore. This is a big company. You know, we got to run it like a business.
Right.
And so I'll never forget that. I mean, it broke my heart to say it, but it's so funny because, I mean, she couldn't even come up with a word. She went straight to Randy's office. You won't believe what he just told me.
Well, at least you got into technology. My mom was kind of the same scenario. My mom was helping me with the books and stuff. And it was big piece tablet and pencils. Like she'd write out a little tablet and highlight stuff. And do you want to pay this, pay this, pay this? You know, now everything we do in the computer. But when we started swapping all that over, she was just struggling. Like, and I finally just had hey, Mom, I'll have you retire. I got you. Let's go have fun. Just because they're just transitioning into that.
Yeah. I think the coolest thing ever is we keep every file on every trailer. So since 98, if you call and give us a serial number, we have the build sheet for that trailer, every cut, everything. But the coolest thing is like someone will call and they'll say, hey, I need this VIN number. I'm like, what year is it? I can't find it in the computer. Well, everything from like 04 back is not in the computer because that's when we moved to Salado and didn't have our big hard drive. Everything 04 forwards in the computer, but they'll say it's a 99, and then you're like, oh, damn, I got to go through the cobweb.
Yeah.
But it's cool because 2001 to 98, you can pull a file and everything is handwritten and it's all Dad's handwriting. And I think that's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he drew the trailer with a ruler. He wrote the whole quote sheet by hand. And anyone that's ever seen Randy's handwriting, he's got fat ass handwriting. It's really cool. And now I know why. It's because
cool in a cool way.
Yeah.
No, you can't read it.
No, it's badass.
Really?
Like, he's got really cool handwriting. But it's like, well, now I know why, because he wrote 2,000 quotes.
No, yeah.
Know? So, just the small things like that of being in business so long is so cool, because now we do have the technology. Engineers are badass. You know, you got to have that. But then there's still that old school of there's some things in that shop. You know, there's machines in there that are from the 50s that we still use.
Right.
So, yeah.
And some of them older machines are a lot better than what you can get. I mean, they're a lot less headache. You just finding people that can get parts from them.
Oh, yeah.
We have that in the steel business on our side a little bit, too.
Our old machines never need maintenance, never need worked on. The new machines, you know, you can drop $100,000 on a new shear, and then 6 months later, the guy's going to need to come out there and fix something, but it takes them 2 weeks to get out there, and then they want to charge you for it, you know.
Right.
Just nothing's made like it used to be.
No, not at all.
Trailers and buildings.
Right. I'm going to let you take a swing at this. You may know, from the day y'all sold your first trailer to today, what do you think, how many trailers on the road that y'all sold?
We don't know exactly. We think it's around 8,000 now. We know it's over like 7,500. So it's somewhere like 7,500 to 8,000.
A lot.
That's a lot.
A lot of trailers. And people ask me the same thing, well, how many buildings you built? Well, the thing is, we built so many different types of buildings. It's really how many square feet have you built your whole life? And I don't even know. You know, we had the same problem, or not same problem, but we had the same thing. I have paper files from 2002 all the way up till 07 or 08 when we started going internet or computers and stuff. Going up there and looking for warranty papers, and because some of these clients, you remember the name, but you don't remember exactly what the project was. So you had to go up there, dig through it, figure out what exactly going on. Because there's product that, you know, that we built 20 something years ago. If there's a problem with it, I feel like it's something we did wrong from the start, because we learned as we went too. And there's things I do a lot differently than I did 20 years ago. But if I feel like it's something that I failed on or my employees failed on, we're going to honor it. We're going to make it right.
100%, dude. Nobody's perfect. We make mistakes every freaking day, every day. But one, it's human nature, and two, you got to think there's 70 guys back there that are hand building objects that roll down the road and weigh 30,000 pounds. And I don't say this like as a dig, because we have the greatest group of employees right now we've ever had, from our front office to our wash bay guys. Our freaking shop guys right now are ginning, and I love it. It's fun. It makes it fun. You know?
Yeah.
But they screw up. They're human. You know? They might have had a fight with their wife the night before, and they come in and put a crappy weld, or just anything. We have warranty issues, and the way you handle it that defines how your company is. And you can't make everyone happy, but I feel like we do a damn good job. If it's serious, then I'll drive to Seattle, Washington overnight and pick up your trailer and make sure it's right.
Yeah.
We honor it. You have to. And I think that's one thing that's really helped us in this industry is we're family owned. We don't have a board. We're not corporate. Something's wrong or something needs to be changed, it happens right then. Because, it's what we do. It's our livelihood, and we have the capability to do it. So that's a big deal. Customer service, dude, it can make you or break you.
100%. And people just don't offer it anymore.
No.
Maybe, a lot of people, they don't even want to talk to a person. They want to email you and work everything out. I'm like, I'm picking up the phone. Yeah. But I'm not allowed to be around customers and employees and stuff no more either. So they kind of segregated me from all that because I'm old school. And just like your dad is. Our word's our word. You say you're going to do something, do it. If not, I'm going to go in there madder than hell and say things I shouldn't say. Yeah. But the same things happen with us. Our group of guys have kind of cycled off the older group and the newer groups in, and I have a younger generation running them, which is a different style than I do. Yeah. But it gets it done. It gets it done the way I want it done, and everybody's happy. Yeah. So I used to have the days where I walk back there and just fire people or fight them or whatever. Yeah. It's just warm-blooded American.
Yeah, human resources calls me and my dad ate our nightmares whenever we're in the shop. This week we had an incident, and sometimes you just need to talk to a grown man like a grown man. I have to get it from my dad. I'll take it from whoever I earned it from. So sometimes people just need to hear it, and he's just human resources is like, you can't do that anymore. You'll just get sued, and it almost makes you want to say, well, bring it on. Right. Idiot. If you're going to be that stupid, then maybe you deserve it. But you can't, and it sucks, but that's
most people that do that are like, they ain't going to do nothing anyway. They're just barking.
Yeah.
That's all they're doing. What is something that you've learned from your father and your mother at a younger age that has brought you where you're at today?
Regret?
No, like what you've learned from, like about what they've taught you, or a time in your life where you made the wrong turn, but they guided you back to it, like a major milestone that may not be one, but
and I was a typical Texas teenager. I like to go out hunting and hanging out with buddies. One thing I can say is I never took a drink of alcohol until I went to college. I think I was 20 when I did it. My parents aren't big drinkers, so I'd never really been around it. And I had buddies that partied and drank and all that. But my dad he's my best friend, and my parents weren't, controlling at all. They were just honest. Dad told me, he said, hey, if you don't ever screw up and you take the high road and you do the right thing, I'll help you out any way I can. And they have. I mean, I'm not going to say I've done everything on my own. Like, my parents helped me out. Yeah, I was probably spoiled. I'm probably still spoiled, but I worked for it.
Right.
But they don't. I just never was a bad. Sounds cocky almost to say, but I never was a bad kid. I never did anything stupid. My biggest deal was I liked girls, and I was kind of a POS probably at some. Well, I know I was at some points in my life. So there's a few times my dad had to grab me and say, "Hey, you're gonna regret this one day. Grow the hell up right now," you know. And I guess one of the big moments was my freshman year of college. I lived with my sister, which was a huge mistake.
Oh, wow.
The 18-year-old guy going to college and living with his sister that's a senior in college.
Yeah.
So we made it about one semester, and then I was getting into just being a smart ass and disrespectful to her, along with not taking care of grades. And because I didn't want to be there, dude. Like, I hated college. I had a girlfriend there. That's the only reason I was there.
Right.
And so I think I made it through the second week of the second semester, and I got not in bad trouble, fighting, just being stupid. And me and my sister got into it, and I embarrassed her pretty bad in front of her friend. And so my dad called me. It was like 11, dude. He was pissed. And Randy, he's kind of scary.
Yeah. In his own way.
Yeah.
And
he called me and he said, "If you're not home by sunup, I'm coming to find you." And I'm like, so I thought it was like a talking to. I pack an overnight bag, drive home, get home like 2 in the morning. He wakes me up at 5 and says, "Get to the office." He meets me up there. And I kid you not, he made me all day pick up rivet heads in our parking lot. All day. Like, 18-year-old kid. I might have even been 19. Thought I was on top of the world, probably being a little arrogant. And all day I sat out there and picked up rivet heads in our freaking parking lot. And it was hot. And it sucked. And so go in, I don't know, maybe later that night I had to live with him, obviously. And he said, "You're not going to school. You're going to stay here and you're going to work in wash bay and service and you're going to take care of some business." And I'm like, yeah, I am in trouble. Girlfriend's in college and I want to be over there. And so I stayed home that whole semester, not by choice, although I didn't want to be in college. I dang sure didn't want to be in wash bay. And then stayed home that summer, and then school rolled around in the fall, and he said, "You're going to go to school and take care of grades?" And I'm like, "Yes, sir."
Yes, sir. Not a problem.
And I went back and made the dean's list every semester after that.
Not a chance. I'm going to take that back.
Yeah, so that was probably my biggest grow-up moment of, like, here's the man's world, here's the man's treatment. You're going to take care of business, or you're not going to be rewarded that lifestyle,
Yeah.
So
I've had some similar stories that my kids, like, they get, you can only beat your kids so much to get something in them. But doing what your dad did, because I've done that similar. Like, I would make my kids go out. We had a half a mile long road, rock road, going into our place in Greenville. And the rocks and stuff, we get out in the grass stuff. So they pissed me off or got in trouble. Instead of me just getting mad, go pick up rocks out of the grass and put them in the driveway. Right. And they, to this day, remember that kind of stuff.
Oh, he used to do that to me all the time. Like, my punishment, it's so funny. Our service guy, John Colvin, he's been with us 25 years. A few years ago, we were trying to get a trailer out for a show or something. I don't remember what it is. So I went back to the wash bay and I was helping him wash it. And our service guy comes back there and he's like looking at me and I'm like, "What's up, John?" I mean, I was wearing clothes like this. And he goes, "What did you do so bad this time?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Well, growing up, every time you got in trouble, you were back here in the wash bay."
He knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah. I'm like, "I'm just trying to help out, dude. I'm not in trouble."
That's funny. So so evolution, just on the trailers, what does that mean to the person that doesn't know exactly?
So we came out with that in 2007 with the new body style that's now almost 20 years old. So when my dad started it, I think he started a new generation of trailers, and then he changed it at some point to the new generation. And then the evolution came out as we did new doors, new drop windows, new mangers, like all kinds of stuff. Just completely, he redesigned the whole trailer. And he called it the evolution, just like always evolving. If you want to stay the best, be the best, you got to keep evolving all the time. And that's kind of what we do. We use them personally, and we got so many customers that we're good friends with that will tell us, hey, this isn't working. So it's just always evolving and keeping going forward in the right direction. But since we're on the topic, y'all can be the first to hear. There's a new body style out and a new trailer. It's going to be debuted at the NFR.
Ooh.
It's got a whole new name, and
Gonna reveal the name there.
it's not set in stone, but I think we're just going to call it the next generation.
That's simple enough. I overthink that kind of stuff, and I try to think. Number one, I can't spell or hardly write, so I suck at coming up with ingenious words. But I just keep it stupid simple for me because you don't want people to read too hard into what you're trying to accomplish with that.
Mm-hmm. No, that's kind of what we're doing. I'm the next generation. A lot of the ideas were mine and our younger shop guys, our plant manager and all that. So I think it's time we needed the new body style, but it's kind of, the phrase is simple, but really the trailer's kind of simple. It's going to look badass and be sexy, but we're just trying to simplify and ease of use for the end customer. That's what it comes down to.
Do your engineers or do y'all kind of go into your shop and kind of pick their brain about things you can do differently, or y'all just leave everything up to the engineers?
No, it's a lot of pretty much every idea of something that's changed on a trailer is mine or Dad's or Brent, our plant manager, or customers.
Sure.
And then we just got a new engineer. We have a good engineer now, but he's more of just the CAD guy drawing the trailers out. But about 3 weeks ago, we got a new engineer. He's Rank. He came from SpaceX.
Oh, wow.
And he is way smarter than any of us at this stuff. And I gave him one task the first day, and I said, figure out how we can do this better. And 2 days later, a prototype was laying on my desk.
Wow.
And it's sweet, and it's already going into effect. Unfortunately, we already built the NFR trailer, so I'm trying to see if I can get them done and bring them back, and I'm going to put it on them. But that's one thing my dad's always taught me. If you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room.
Yep. That's true.
And that's how Bloomer Trailers is so successful, is people way smarter than my dad, my mom, just putting a group together that has the same common goal, but knows how to get stuff done.
Sure.
And that's this engineer. Like I'm so stoked about him. He's going to take us next level for a lot of stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's exciting when you get that kind of talent coming around. And it's funny as you grow in your industry. I feel like a lot of people have come to me now. I used to have to chase people down and find help. Good talent. Now people want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Be part of the team, and be part of the growth and all that good stuff. And that's very rewarding. Is coming from the ground up and learning everything. Having people that want to be on your team.
For sure.
So, wife?
Yeah.
Kids?
No kids. Wife and I celebrated our first wedding anniversary on Sunday.
Wasn't this like a big to-do wedding?
It was big.
So give me some information here, because I didn't know that Jake was... Go ahead.
Dude, I'm a country boy.
I know. When I heard the stories, I'm like, wow.
I married way, way out of my league, as you're supposed to. But I met my wife in 21, and her family's in the industry. They own American Hats. And I knew her mom and dad, through the industry my whole life, just because I've been in it. She never was in it. She went to college. She got her master's. She's a CPA. She moved straight to New York, lived there for 4 years, audited like hedge fund companies, huge business. And then she's a city girl, dude, like never shot a gun until she got with me. So, but I met her in 21, and she had moved back to Texas in 20. Her dad had passed, unfortunately. So she wanted to be closer with her mom, because her mom and dad ran that company together. And then COVID hit, and New York shut down. So it was kind of just stars aligned. She moved back, went into the family business, helping her mom. And so I met her at National High School Finals in Lincoln, Nebraska in 21. And I just fell in love with her. I didn't even talk to her. I think I said like 5 words. Her mom came up, was talking to my parents, and she was right there. Mercedes is her name. And my dad and her sat there and talked, and I was just looking at her. And I've never been the one to lose words or shy around women. Like, it's not really me. But I just sat there, and I was kind of in awe of her. And then she walked off, and my dad, he's always been strict on girls. I mean, he's never really liked any of my girlfriends. He's never even approved or said, hey, that's a good one, or I like her, she can come on, come out with us hunting or something. Never been like that. She walked off and Dad goes, damn, son, why can't you find one like that? I'm like, I think I did, Well, she was in a relationship for a long time. And I told her mom that day, I said, if she's ever single again, call me because I'm going to take her out on a date. Well, then I kept running into her, obviously, through the industry, and ran into her NFR that year, 21. And a big group of us went out to a Nelly concert.
Oh, wow.
It was the Huey party.
Huey party, yeah. That makes sense.
And usually, I go to bed in Vegas, I'm pretty whooped, but I knew she was going to be there, so I'm like, I'm going. Well, we ended up staying up talking in an elevator shaft till 4 in the morning, and our stories just aligned perfect. Growing up, but she wasn't in the industry, but growing up with parents that were entrepreneurs and work ethic and all that. And so I fell in love with her. I told her my mom the next day, I said, I'm going to marry that girl.
That's
and
awesome.
My mom's like, kind of a problem in the way. And then Dad's only comment was, you can't afford her. And looking back, I should have listened to her. I can't afford her.
But nobody's going to outwork you, so you can.
Exactly. So anyways, yeah, we ended up getting together that April. And the rest is kind of history. I proposed to her in the stockyards at the Cowtown Coliseum in 23, and we got married last year. And she always wanted to get married in California, one, because she's a city girl, and I didn't want to get married in California because it's California.
Mm-hmm.
And so we compromised and we got married in California. And
your wedding's going to work, or your marriage is going to be great.
Yeah, so it turned in, it was kind of one of them deals. She's in the Western industry, I'm in the Western industry. If we got married in Texas, it would be huge.
Yeah, I get you.
My sister got married here. It was big. We didn't want a big wedding. We wanted 100 to 120 people, just our closest friends and family. So we fly to California, look at venues. I didn't really care. It was badass. I realized that. The venue was cool, but I would have married her in this front yard.
Right. You didn't care.
Yeah. Well, then, so we picked this venue, and I knew it was expensive. And I told her, I said, you do you. Before Dad passed, that's one thing he told her mom is these girls get the wedding they want. And her sister had a big wedding, too. So, dude, it, turned into a production overnight. We had a year to plan it, and she was always in planning meetings and 2 planners and all this. Well, she ended up getting her dream wedding, and I was blown away. I had no idea. We got married on the beach at a resort with the mountains behind it. It was gorgeous. And then I walk into my own wedding, and I'm like, who's all this for? I'm just little redneck from Salado, and then all my redneck buddies fly in. And I'm sure this hotel is thinking, what the hell? Because it was a nice hotel. It's where all the movie stars, hour outside of LA. So Ellen was there. Sophia Richie came to my wedding. I didn't even know who she was until then, but Oprah was there. All these people, it's kind of an escape. And then you bring in 120 drunk cowboys in cowboy hats. I'm pretty sure they're rethinking it. And so it was an amazing time. Hats off to Sadie for planning it and my mother-in-law for paying for it. That was the best.
Was it in a magazine or something?
Yeah.
I asked you if there's anything you didn't want to talk about.
I didn't think this would get brought up. Yeah, so I'm in Vogue.
Wow, a bloomer boy.
A bloomer trailer trash boy from Salado, Texas is in Vogue. And I didn't even know what Vogue was before my wife.
Right.
And we were actually driving to a show in Amarillo last year, and she got the phone call, and they were like, hey, your wedding's going to be featured. And I mean, I thought she was going to jump out of the truck. She was so happy. And then I'm just like, how much do we get paid? She's like, we don't get paid. And I'm like, so we're letting them post our photos, our video. We're giving them our whole story for other people to have inspiration to do their wedding. I feel like, we should get paid. They're using my photo, and my dad always told me I got a face built for radio. So I was pretty excited. I called him. I'm like, what now, dude?
You top that one, Dad.
Yeah. So anyways, we're in Vogue. It's cool. I'm excited for her.
I wonder how many cowboys or Western industry people have made it to Vogue. I don't know.
I was hoping it'd sell more trailers or hats, but so far,
It hadn't worked out.
but yeah, married a year Sunday.
Congratulations.
It's been awesome. She's just great. So very lucky.
Sister?
Yep, got an older sister. She's 32.
We're not going to judge you.
Yeah,
you don't know.
she lives here in Weatherford, about 20 miles from here. She lived in Salado, and they just moved in March, unfortunately, which sucks. I'm gonna call her out on it anytime I can.
Right.
She's got 2 little baby boys. One's 3. One was born in March, and they're awesome. She's the greatest mom. I mean, just awesome mom. She's done her own thing. She stayed out of the business. She's the smart one because she has no stress of the business. Doesn't even really know much about the business, but she's gonna inherit half of it one day. So
Right.
I always tell everyone, I'm like, she's actually the freaking smart one. She's
Right.
gonna benefit the best out of it because I'll end up having to buy her out, so
Right.
I'll go into debt. But her husband is in the rodeo world. He's a bull rider, which is bull rider. I'm just kidding. He's a good dad and a good husband. So
That's what's important.
yeah, they got the perfect life going. So happy for them.
Yeah. So I didn't meet your mother before she got sick.
Mm-hmm.
But I have over time watched you and your father and her interact, good and bad, a little bit.
Oh, dude, she's opinionated now. She has no
Very
filter.
much so.
Yeah.
But you're watching your dad with her though. You can see that true love between the two. And I think that's pretty awesome when you get life challenges like that and your partner steps up.
Yeah. So April of 22, she had a massive stroke, and just it was bad. Lost all motor function, lost everything. And then they went to. My dad was just there for her. She was in the hospital in Temple for like 2 weeks, and then he got her into Tier Memorial Herman in Houston. Thank God, because they're like experts on brain trauma. And so from the time they moved her down there in an ambulance, he never once came back to Salado. 3 months. He just stayed there with her, took care of her, and hats off to that hospital because she went in, she couldn't speak, she couldn't eat, she couldn't do nothing, and she didn't walk out of there, but she came out remembering and talking better, and she's got come a long ways. But I mean, ever since then, that's kind of my deal is baptism by fire with the whole accounting part of our company and everything else, because he didn't give a shit about it. He said, I don't give a shit if it burns down tomorrow. Like, I'm taking care of my wife. So you can either step up or, life's going to change. And it did change forever just because of that.
Right.
But, yeah, they knew each other 6 months. They got married at 18.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's just been them. Her parents died when they were like 22. And so anything that they've accomplished, it's been them. No backing, no support. It's pretty awesome story. And they've done a little bit of everything. But,
Yeah.
It's true love for sure. And it's hard now because my mom has no filter. And she's always been like sweetest, politest, never one to ruffle feathers, where now she doesn't have that filter of what she can and can't say. So they argue left and right. And a lot of times it's funny, but poor dad, he always tells people he's the highest paid Uber driver in history. She can't drive. So he takes her everywhere. But it's a testament of how strong their love is because, he's with her all day, every day.
Yeah, every show we're at, if she's there, he's with her, or you are, one or the other, or your wife.
Yeah, she can't really stay alone, so she goes everywhere. If we go on a hunting trip or something, she goes with my sisters or with Mercedes. So it's been a drag the last 3 years. It's been tough, but she's still here, so that's really all.
Yeah, that's what matters. The industry is very supportive too. It's one thing I do love about the Western industry. Like we circle around and get everybody lifted back up. We don't sit there and beat on people because they got a problem or life changed to certain degrees.
Yeah, no, and it was like when it happened and we announced it at school. Our foyer at our office was full of flowers. And people check in all the time. And then if we're at a show, I can't tell you how many times people have seen her in a crowd. She don't walk her good. They'll come up and just grab her arm and help her walk through. You know.
Sure.
So yeah, in this industry, that's one thing that's about it. It's family driven, and I think it's the only industry like that anymore. So
Right.
we're all staying true to
I agree.
ourselves.
100% to that. Well, I really got to meet know your dad better on a personal level at the BFI this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't get all of the story on it, but I was overhearing a story. He was talking with Cammie Patterson about him being in a plane wreck.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, dude, we got all kinds of weird stuff happens to our family.
Yeah. He's talking about a motor or something that was crammed up next. I don't know. It was crazy what all he'd been through with that.
So I was in college. It was September of 16. He went on a hunting trip in West Texas with some customer friends of ours, and he took one of our dealers, John Bruner, that owns Durham here in Weatherford. He took him hunting with him, and so they were flying back. We chartered a plane. They were flying back, and they were landing in Mineral Wells to drop John off. And like 10 miles out, their plane engine, it was twin engine, one of the engines went out, and then a couple miles later, the other engine went out. Long story short, this pilot had switched them to empty fuel tanks, so they just ran the plane dry. They had 18 gallons of fuel on the plane, so they should have blown up. But anyways, they picked a field and crashed it, and the crash didn't go as good as they were hoping. I mean, they lived, but the plane just went down on the right side, which is where my dad was sitting. He was sitting in the co-pilot's seat, and it just smashed everything up, and it banged him up pretty good. He was in the hospital for a couple weeks, and I was in school, and luckily my mom I told Dad when my mom first had the stroke, I said, well, this is payback because she carried you around for like 6 or 9 months.
Right.
You were incapacitated. Well, her deal just lasted a little longer. But yeah, he broke everything on his right side and all kinds of stuff, like 9 surgeries later. And that's why he quit roping. Didn't hunt a whole lot. Didn't live for a couple years just because he's constant surgeries and stuff. But now he's good. His ankle's fused up and he ropes, and I guess he's retired.
Both of y'all rope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both quit. I quit when I went to college. It's another lesson that he said, I'm not raising a team roper, I'm raising a businessman. You can rope the rest of your life. So you're going to go to school and learn something different because we grew up rodeoing. And so I've taken off this whole time until like January this year. Really, the Ace Ashford roping was whenever I was like kind of thinking about it, and really for business purposes, just because I've been out of it so long and everyone sees me at the shows. Well, I need to be one with them. So I've been too busy, and I'm probably still too busy, but Colby Payne put me on a horse one day at his house, just jacking around, and then I kind of got the craving for it.
Yeah.
So we started back. He started back last year because he was retiring, and then I've just started back. And really, my deal is not for self-gratification or nothing. It's more just business, being seen, being amongst them, and meeting new potential clients. And I love horses. I love being in the industry. I'm already at every show, so why not?
Why not? Right.
Yeah. So the Ace Ashford deal kind of fueled me. I wanted to open that just because I've known him his whole life, and it was tragic, and his family and everything. We sponsored it, so that was my first roping back, and I think I missed every steer but one. So I was not ready. I was not prepared.
I describe team roping like golf. It's very humbling.
Very.
Even when you're spot on, you just go out there and bibble bobble a little bit, and the whole world can change.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Or I get a head trick and whatever.
My deal has not ever been horsepower or nothing. It's been straight lack of talent.
But a lot of try.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had to go back to when you were 18, or if you had to tell an 18-year-old some advice, what would you tell them?
If I had to tell myself something, I'd say don't go to school, just skip it and go straight to work. Start learning.
Some parents are going to hate us for this.
No, go to school. It's great. I'm just kidding. School, it's for certain people, Like, my wife loves school, and she needed to go, and then it's just not for some people. I never liked high school. I didn't get
I was the same way.
I'm business savvy, but I I'm not just sit down paperwork. My mind goes 100. So I would just say, obviously you got to find what you love and all that, but to an 18-year-old, man, you're gonna go through a lot. You're gonna be heartbroken. You're gonna let people down. You're gonna be let down. Life's gonna kick you. And at 18, it feels like the end of the world. And now that I'm 29, I look back at some of my 18-year-old thoughts and choices, and they mean absolutely
nothing. Yeah. I have 18-year-old twin daughters and are fixed to be 18, and they're seniors in high school. And I asked them that question the other day, and I was like, they didn't really have an answer. And I said, okay, I'm going to ask you this question in May when you're graduating, because that's when it all kind of hits the dashboard. Is like, okay, I'm really fixing up the adult, even if you're going to college or just adult work. So it's funny watching, like, I know they haven't even thought about that yet, but I know at the end of the year it's going to really hit. And I'm going to reiterate that question and see how comical it is. But, and another thing to go along with what you said, it's not necessarily not go to school, but I don't know about you, how Bloomer does it, but how Raptor P does it. We will train people. You don't even have to go to trade school. We'll teach you how to weld. We'll give you all the college. You're not going to make a lot of money at first, but we'll put you, if you got the right character and the right grit and all the stuff around you that fits our mold, we'll teach you how to do stuff. And that has evolved our company because we have taken the time to do that. Because, a lot of these schools, they say, hey, you need to go to you need to go welding school and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm going to have to reteach you everything you taught.
100%. We have to, if someone comes in and they got a welding certificate and they've been welding for 10 years, we're like, oh, damn, really more than the guy that doesn't know how to weld, because one, there's a good chance they never welded aluminum, and two, then if they have welded, they're smarter than you already.
Yeah, 100%.
No, and I agree. The school deal, it's good. The part of school I didn't like, one is I haven't used a single bit of it in our business. They don't teach you how to do your taxes. They don't teach you how to do payables, balance, checkbook, none of that, And I guess I look at things different. I think it's just being raised by my dad. It was really hard for me to go to school and someone tell me how to live life or run a company, or that you have to do this, knowing that they've never done that themselves.
Yeah.
Like, you teach college kids, you don't know the real world of manufacturing or assembly or even leading. That's been something that's hard, as I'm a natural born leader, but leading grown men, that's a hard job.
It is.
And so they don't teach you that stuff. Now, if you're going to be a doctor, lawyer, accountant, whatever, or just even sell real estate, there's people that are just driven to school that they need to go. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
The way I look at it is, I could have skipped that 4 years, stayed home, furthered my career, and made more money.
Right.
I'd have been 4 years ahead. Now, shit could have changed if I went home and didn't go to school,
Sure.
So I think nothing ever happens that wasn't supposed to happen that was designed that way. So I was supposed to go to school from the day I was born. That's the way God made me, and it's hard, like friends pass, whatever. And a guy told me this a long time ago. He said nothing anybody could do was going to change the action that was coming that day.
Right.
It's just a part of it, You got to have faith. So I say that, but I was supposed to go there,
Yeah. Well, I went to college for a long 3 weeks, and that's all I could take. I made a lot of money, but I worked a lot of hours at a young age. Mm-hmm. So it was nothing for me to work 90 to 120 hours. And I had, at 18 years old, I made a lot of money. And went to school, high school. But I had a hard time. When I got up here, I was sitting there, I couldn't get past I'm literally not making any money right now. Like, I'm literally just chewing at my savings that I came to pay for college for. And I was like, I'm out of here. Like, I got this. So, and then Raptor P was started. So
I think Randy, he likes to say he went a whole semester, but my mom says he went like 2 days. And then my mom didn't go to school. Neither of them have college educations. But I get it wasn't as big a deal back then, but that just goes to show you that you don't have to have a piece of paper to be successful.
Yeah, 75% of our group of people at Raptor P that have paper, college certificate, don't even use it.
Don't use it.
Don't use it what they went to school for.
Yeah.
So, and that's a very common thing, is, you know, and I think the gears have kind of been driven differently over the last couple of years, that people pump into the trades, which we need.
We need
bad.
Yeah.
So.
I was the same way. I've always been kind of a wheeler and dealer since I was a kid. I like money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And growing up, last name Bloomer, people think, oh, you're just spoiled rich kid. Well, dude, we lived, like, I got my license right after the recession ended. You can say what you want. We had a great life, but there was a lot of years there that I didn't have my own pickup in high school for the first year and a half I had my license. We were so broke after that recession, putting all of our money into that company, that I used to drive to school in my dad's pickup, and my mom would come drop him off, and he'd get his truck, and then after football practice, he'd come pick me up. Like, people don't realize that, you know.
They don't see all that.
Whenever you got a big company, there's a lot of heartbreak that comes with it, and a lot of upsets. And my high school career, dude, we were not a rich family. People think we were because we had a name. And even till today, you know, it's not like we're just floating on air doing nothing. I mean, it costs a lot of money to run a business.
A good business.
A good one.
Yeah. It's a grind, and, you know, we our stuff is predicted off of weather most of the time, and people wanting to buy our product.
I know, it took y'all 3 weeks to start our barn.
It's not my apartment. But the weather, and then also what we sell for product is unique to every project.
Yeah.
It's not just we're building a 30 by 40. We're building whatever y'all dream up as an end user. You know, so you have to have that availability of clients and get the weather to cooperate and have availability of product. Because after 2020, that was something I've never seen being in business. The weirdest thing we couldn't get, and then the ones you could 2 days later couldn't. You know, it's the weirdest damn thing ever, trying to make a company survive.
Yeah, I mean, like our deal, we had our best years ever in the last 5 years as far as orders. It's been awesome. I mean, you had to be a complete dumbass not to be able to sell a trailer in the last 4 years. I mean, it made you lazy, really, because, I mean, people just, for some reason, had the money. I mean, economy, you know, whatever, they're buying trailers. But what you don't see, and our dealers don't see and stuff, is all the freaking price increases, the having to shut down production because you can't get material. I mean, in 22 alone, or 23 alone, we ate $800,000 in price increases just so we wouldn't pass it on to our customers.
We ate 700 that year.
It's crazy. Same thing. Because our order bank was out a year, and that's way too far. Well, you can't predict what the future's going to do. We're not going to be greedy and just jack up a trailer price because we can, and that's what some people did. And then some other companies in the industry, you get your trailer and they say, well, it needs to be another $19,000 for price increases. You can't do that.
No.
And be successful in business. You got to eat it.
Reputation.
Yeah, and luckily for us, we did the right thing, what we should have done. We ate it, we took care of our people, and we gained some of those customers from other companies, you know.
100%. Because when that was going on, there was nothing to go by a project and see it half built or shut down, grass growing up around it. Oh, these builders didn't have enough money in there because they run such tight, you know, budgets. But also they're going back to banks asking for more money. Mm-hmm. I never did that. I lost $700,000, but it catapulted me to the next level. You know what I mean?
The right way, the way you should have done it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people. They got, you know, it's a me society. The first thing they got to do is look at themselves. How's this going to affect me? And that's another thing he's taught me. It ain't us. It's about the whole company. You know? Right. Number one to us is we're going to take care of our employees.
Sure.
We didn't lay off a single person, even when we were shut down for 2 weeks. We paid them full salary.
That was scary.
Oh, God.
It was a month. Like, you walk in that Greenville office, our big office, like, it's always chaos.
Yeah.
And it was literally, you could hear a pin drop. And it was eerie. It's probably the most gut-wrenching feeling I've ever had being in business.
Yeah. And my dad was freaked out. And, I mean, I was too, obviously. But his whole deal is he still can't get past the 2008 recession. Like, that lives in the back of his mind of how much money he lost and how much money it cost us. Yeah. And so when COVID rolled around, dude, you know, it was like, calm down. You're going to have a heart attack. And he's like, hell no. We just started ginning again. Like, this could be bad. And we had game plans where we knew it. We went into it thinking, okay, about the third month, we were like, if it keeps doing this, we're going to do this. And luckily, we're savvy enough that we figured out we're going to make it work. And then, man, it was like all of a sudden the floodgates opened.
Oh, it was crazy.
It was
like,
so weird.
Literally, like, everybody in the world wanted to move to rural America, so they wanted a barn door, they wanted a shop, they wanted they're buying. You couldn't even find side by sides. I mean, everything was they just bought everything that was available.
There was 2.5 years there was not a single new bloomer on a lot across America, and it was like that for everything. I remember Vic. I used to call him 24/7. Dude, find me a truck.
Right.
You sold mine.
Right.
Like, I need a pickup. I mean, you couldn't find nothing.
Right.
And it was just. It was weird. We lived through history at that point. We didn't know it was going to happen, but I think we all came out all right. And I think now we're on a good trajectory of moving forward now that we
finally. Finally.
We got past some of the old stuff.
Yeah, finally. Well, we're going to wrap this up, but I'm going to wrap it up with what defines Jake Bloomer's grit? When you wake up in the morning, what's that?
Man. I'd just say probably hungry.
A good one.
Hungry just to keep striving and grow this thing and make my parents proud and make our customers proud and be a good person while doing it.
Yeah. Well, knowing your dad and your mom, they wouldn't be handing you over the reins if they didn't think you can handle it. So those days you think you can't, you can. So they wouldn't even venture that just because, you've earned your way. All right, Jake, thank you for coming on with us. Appreciate your time.
For having me. It's awesome.
Look forward to all the new body style. Oh, that's going to be cool. Yeah. The NFR. That's where you're going to reveal it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm
cool.
looking forward to our new barn, so I appreciate it.
Yeah. No pressure. Thank y'all for tuning in on our socials, and look forward to seeing you on our next episode. Thank you.